everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have used this zip-up hoodie to make a pair of tracksuit bottoms, or also known as sweatpants. These trousers are always popular and are great to relax in, so I thought I'd give myself the challenge to make some. So let's get into it. First, I removed the pockets and the bottom band from the jacket. I used a seam ripper to help me do this. Save this band for later, we'll need it to make the waistband of the trousers. Next, I removed the zip and the hood from the jacket. Again, I used a seam ripper to do this. This is what I had so far. I then removed the arms and cut along the shoulder and side seams, so I would end up with separate pieces. I now had 2 sleeves, 2 front pieces and a back piece. I started with one of the front pieces. Using a pair of leggings I liked the fit of, I used these as a pattern for my new trousers. I made sure the straight edge of the leggings lined up with the straight edge of the fabric and also folded the waistband of the leggings down as I'd be making one later. I drew around the shape of the leggings, adding about ½ inch for seam allowance. I then cut this out. This is how it looked. I then repeated this on my second front piece. This is what I had so far. Moving on to the back piece of the jacket, I folded this in half, making sure the edges lined up and cut along the folded edge, so I had 2 separate pieces. I then used one of the pieces I cut out earlier as a guide to cut out 2 more pieces, again making sure the straight edges lined up. I now had these 4 pieces that would make the top section to my trousers. 2 for the front and 2 for the back. Taking 2 of these pieces, I placed them right sides together, making sure they face the same way. I then pinned along the curved edge. I repeated this for the other 2 pieces. Once everything was pinned in place, I sewed where I'd pinned. This is how they looked. Next, I placed these 2 pieces right sides together, making sure the seams on the front and back lined up. I then pinned along the sides and the crotch to make leg holes. Once I'd pinned everything in place, I sewed where I'd pinned. This is how they looked. On to making the waistband. First, I measured around the top of the trousers to find out how long the waistband needed to be. This measurement was 31 inches. Taking the band I removed from the bottom of the jacket, I measured and marked this at 31.5 inches and cut it to that length. I added ½ inch for seam allowance. Then I folded this in half, right sides together, and sewed the ends together to create a loop. This is how it looked. I now needed to attach this to the trousers. With the seam of the waistband lining up with the seam on the back of the trousers, I placed the waistband over the trousers and made sure the open edge of the waistband was at the top. I then pinned the waistband in place all the way around the top of the trousers. Once it was pinned in place, I sewed where I'd pinned. this is what I had so far. Next, I needed to make the bottom half of the trouser legs. I used the sleeves I cut off earlier to make these. With the trousers the right way out and the sleeves inside out, I placed the trouser leg inside the sleeve so the bottom of the trouser leg lined up with the top of the sleeve. I also made sure that the seam of the sleeve lined up with the inside seam of the trousers. I pinned these together all the way around. I then repeated this for the other leg. I then sewed where I'd pinned. Once these were sewn in place, the trousers were complete and this is how they looked. I was really pleased with how these turned out, and it's such a great way to use an old jumper or jacket to create something new. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.